What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Batty Talks. We're here again on a Saturday because once again it was Friday night. It was real late, and I said, you know what? I'll do it tomorrow. And here we are. Tomorrow has come, and today we're talking about the folly of man. Specifically, me. So I often come to terms with something a lot in my life, as does everybody. I feel like this is something everybody experiences, and it's just getting the stuff done that you want to do. And this could realistically be anything. It could be your laundry, it could be your homework, it could be your taxes, it could be, whatever. And obviously, depending on what it is, it's going to be harder to actually get done and actually start doing because you're going to want to do it less, right? I seem to have this sick idea in my head that at some point, someday here, I'm just gonna wake up and I'll be able to work the whole day and not do anything else. You know, every single day I go, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna work on a video all day, and that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. And obviously, tomorrow comes, and I'm the same guy I was yesterday, and I don't want to work on a video. I want to sit on my ass and play video games, man. Why would I be any different from the man I was yesterday, dude? That was like 24 hours ago, right? But I keep coming back to this idea that I will eventually someday I will 100% completely lock in, right? But I just don't really know if it works that way. And I would love for it to work that way, but I'm not an infallible man. I try to hold myself up to a standard higher than that of expected of you. I try to, stay away from the follies of modern man and oftentimes unsuccessfully. And it just sucks, man. I don't want to do some of the things that I do, and I want to do some of the things that I don't. And eventually I do get around to it. I think I'm a lot better than I used to be, but I'm still not at the point where I want to be, right? I want to be able to wake up every day and say, yeah, I'm doing this, and then just do it. And, like, is that crazy? Is that a crazy thing to want, right? I don't think so. I think wanting and to be able to just do all the things you want to do is normal. But it's such a strange occurrence because if you want to do all these things, why don't you just do them? And that's where we come back to the modern follies of man. I'm going to quit beating around the bush here. The professional time wasters, bro. Listen, there's just so much shit in the modern era to waste your goddamn time. So many video games, so many movies, so many social media platforms, so many songs, so many everything, man. It feels like everything is just designed to suck your time away and keep you from the things that you want to actually do. And they successfully do that. That's their whole point. That's their whole job, man. Teams of engineers, best in the world, were put on this shit just to waste your goddamn time. There's a thing I've been thinking about recently, and it's sort of what the previous generations fought for before us, you know? I feel like my grandpa, he was born right around the start of World War II, so when he was in his prime, he was, basically rebuilding America probably at one of the best places you could be to be alive, right? And then my dad, he's part of Gen X, and he was fighting, their whole thing was like taking down the man. Screw that 1984 stuff, man. We're gonna build our own path. We're gonna get rid of the man. And obviously, they failed to do that. The man is still around. He's bigger and better than ever. And I feel like our fight right here, right now, is just trying to stop society, to stop all these systems from just wasting our goddamn time. That's really what Project '07 was all about, man. Just fighting back for your own damn time, right? I got so sick of just going on my phone for hours a day and doing nothing, man. And I'm falling back into that, dude. I'm not an infallible man as much as I would like to be. There are days that I'm going to waste. And in the great words of Billy Joel, it's alright, you can afford to lose a day or two. But when a day or two becomes 3 or 4, and 3 or 4 becomes a week, and a week becomes a month, and suddenly you're 4 months into the year and you're nowhere where you wanted to be, that is when it becomes a problem. And look, I'm not really saying I'm unhappy with the point that I'm at, right? I have gotten quite a bit done this year. But there's so much more that I want to do, and if I'm unable to stop myself from wasting all this time, if I'm unable to truly and utterly lock in, then it's just not going to get done. And I'm going to look back on this year with regret. And that's not what I want to do. That's the only thing I don't want to do. Like I said before, I would much, much rather regret making the wrong decision than not making a decision at all. But it's tough, man. This is our fight. This is our battle. That's what you have to think of it as. That's what you have to believe it is, right? You have to stop wasting your damn time. And this is more of a message for me than it is for anybody else, right? But I think a lot of people do need to hear this. I think a lot of people are trying and struggling with the exact same damn thing I am. And it's hard. It's not easy. That's why it's a struggle. That's why we're fighting. That's why we're losing, I would say. I would say a majority of people are losing. But if you can just wake up and say, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do my laundry, and then you just do it. You don't just say you're gonna do it, but you actually do it as well. Right? Just do it. That's gonna be all the time I've got for today, guys. I would like to thank you so much for listening to this episode of Batty Talks. Send me a question at battytalks@gmail.com. And for now, this is Batty Shogun, signing off.